What's a bumpkin?
I think of a bumpkin as like a bumpkin? A country fellow.
Yeah, country bumpkin.
Yeah, I've heard that,
bumpkin,
but
yeah, I think of a dude that's got bunions on his feet.
Oh, but I have those.
Are you a bumpkin?
Is it?
No, I was a ballerina, so my feet are all jacked up.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the P-Funk and Fro show. My name is Austin Fluman. With me, as always,
Anthony Gorman.
We have a special guest this week, Anthony.
Oh, we do.
We have the specialness guest that we may have ever had on this podcast. And
I would say so.
And now she's got giant shoes to fill because I gave her giant expectations too. She's like,
not because I have giant feet.
no,
right.
Completely unrelated to your giant bumpkin feet.
Bumpkin feet, so we said.
We've got Sarah from Portland.
Yeah.
So if you've heard conversations that Anthony and I have had about Sarah from Portland, she's real. She's not a figment of Anthony's imagination.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people are probably like, I bet he's making her up.
Yeah.
And I'm not a mail order bride.
Right, yeah. I am Sarah from Portland. Like, you're like some Russian chick.
Right. Yeah, so first of all, like, who even are you? Like,
yeah, who are you?
I'm Sarah from Portland.
Right, exactly. So you and Anthony met in a very interesting kind of turn of events, right? So when you were on your huge West Coast trip,
random, right?
When you were seeking life and trying to figure out who you are as a person.
Well,
on the West Coast.
yeah. I wasn't like trying to find something. I was just winging things.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just playing with you.
But it was like an odd happenstance. Yeah.
Yeah. So take it from here. How did you guys meet in the first place?
So I only had 2 nights in Portland, and yeah, I feel like I've talked like West Coast like every other like podcast, but
ad nauseum.
I mean, it's exactly.
This is a story that hasn't been.
But this is very specific. So I rode my bike all around Portland. I essentially had like one day to myself there, so I was like trying to cram in everything, and I since I was on my own, like Bumble, it was nice to like converse with people. Like I know people are like, oh yeah, you're always like trying to hook up, but honestly, it was like I got like lots of recos from restaurants just from Bumble girls, like because I'd be like, oh, I'm leaving,
present company included.
right? Yeah, exactly, right. That night, yeah. So on my way back from this like convenience store, that's when the Bumble thing was like some match or whatever. Sarah, and I was like, oh, okay, let's see what's up with this. Let's see what's up with this. Yeah. So I think I just mentioned that I was staying at the Eagle.
Yeah, the White Eagle.
The White Eagle, which is a bar, and then there's rooms above. And it was my first personal room of the trip so far because I was staying in hostels. So I purposefully, because the night before I was at like an Airbnb hostel, but I was purposely doing that as kind of like a decompress, like not be around people. So it was kind of like a chill night for me anyways.
Right.
But it was like a Sunday night in that part of town, which you like had I known and asked her, she probably would have said, don't stay there.
I probably would have just invited you to my house.
Yeah, that would have worked too.
Way safer.
Yeah.
It was sketchy, yeah. Because I told her I was going to try to see the moon, I think, at night. And you're like, she was like, I suggest not doing that. Really?
Yeah, so where he was in town is actually right by my hospital. But it's like tent city everywhere. It's what we call like a homeless camp. And just tons of homeless people. And it's really sketchy. But because Portland has mild weather generally year round, that's where the homeless people congregate. Is just anywhere in Portland. Okay. So he told me where he was and that he was going to go out. I'm like, hey, I don't know how honest I should be with him. I don't know like how brave he is. I don't actually know this person.
Yeah.
But what I would say is don't.
Yeah.
Dang. It's probably good that you were up front. You may have saved his life.
She told I was totally going to do it no matter what. That was just because I wanted a shot of that at night, the city. And I thought, like, I was just looking at Google Maps. And I was like, oh, this might be a good vantage point of the city at night. Yeah. And then she said that. And then I remember, like, noticing things and, like, abandoned car here or something like that. Because it was, like, in a brewery district. It was, like, an odd area.
So if people know about Widmer Brewery, so it started in Portland. And the restaurant, bar, hotel place that Anthony was at is directly across from the Widmer, like, headquarters.
Okay. Yeah, there was tons of kegs there,
yeah. So it's like the big vats that they make beer in.
Like stacked like 8 feet or 8 keg tall.
Well, and then there's like the gift shop, and so that you can buy anything. That's probably too what you saw.
Yeah. It was pretty neat. But so I had second thoughts once she told me that, and I'm like, the whole trip so far I'd been paying attention to what locals have like recoed me and like told me, so I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do that. And then plus it was just so it was kind of a dead night, and that bar was like, it was kind of, I'll just call it like kind of depressing.
Totally depressing.
It was like a single acoustic guitar dude, and he was singing these songs. I was just like, this trip so for like Seattle, I had like a goal. It was like perfect
Singing, like,
3 day weather, everything. And I come down here and like the first day was a little rocky in Portland, and then the second day, anyways, so it was just like Sunday night in Portland by myself, and this guy's like, and then my dog died, and I'm just like, but we were like talking, but it was pretty early on, and she recommended the tater tots there, Cajun tots.
Cajun tots. I think you told me about Cajun tots.
Yeah, so I ordered the hamburger. I ordered a hamburger with the Cajun tots, and that was the first thing I ate was the Cajun tots, and I like didn't eat. I was like, I started like texting on my phone. I was like, damn. I was like,
these tots did not disappoint.
Yeah. So that was like the first thing I think that like really, I don't know. And then we just texted the entire night. It was for a long time. So she kept me like confident. It was like very needed at that night too, just because I was on my own and it was dead. There was probably like 4 to 6 groups of people just casually. It was like dimly lit bar.
I've never been there when there's like a lot of people either.
Really? Mm-hmm. They probably stay away because of all the reasons that you outlined earlier.
No, but like, so it's a McMinimans. So if anybody else on the West Coast listens, like, so Oregon and Washington both have a McMinimans chain, but it's like a local chain, not like a Red Robin.
Gotcha.
And so then one of their main locations is actually like 2 miles from my house, and it has like 7 different bars on the campus. It has a winery, it has a golf course, has a hotel that used to be, I don't know, people say used to be a psych hospital. It's kind of sketch.
So they own all that in like one
so then
complex?
They own Whitebird, and then like we were talking about the St. John's Pub earlier, which is up north, like further north in Portland, and that is also a McMinimans, and they have the same menu everywhere, which is nice. But then they'll have, I don't know, different specials, I guess. But it's nice because they make their own beer, wine, cider.
Wow.
So
I didn't realize it was that big.
Dang, I didn't either. So that's where it's next to where you were staying, or
it was. Well, that is
relatively.
That is where you stayed.
Yeah, it was like bar was
gotcha.
on the bottom. Oh yeah, I guess I could have explained that better. So the bar was on the bottom, and I was just staying upstairs. So it was like once I got to like the safe spot, like indoors, all I was doing was like eating and drinking there, and then just going up. But
like
again, it was like
situation.
But it wasn't like how she was explaining. It wasn't like I could like bar hop or just kind of like hang out and like. Occupy my time at night, just like chilling out. It was like kind of I was like confined, and so it was really nice talking to someone that night. Yeah, and we talked like the whole time, and then I think we just talked ever since then, all the way through my trip, and then like on the way back. And
you made that transition to texting.
Oh yeah, I went from Bumble to Facebook, then to texting.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember very vividly. That night, and then asking you, I was like, I'm sick of this Facebook messages. Can I just give you my phone number? We can text normally. And you're like, yeah, I guess I actually like Facebook. I'm like,
well, I say that, but then I'm like, no, I mean, well, yeah, then I probably set up, but now Well,
and you were like, I like it because it breaks up the monotony of texting. I'm like, it's the exact same thing, but a different app.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
What about it breaks up the monotony of texting?
I don't know why I would say that.
I don't know.
Because I've told you my hatred towards Facebook.
You did, yeah. You must have
just
really
because of like the battery drain and like what it does.
Oh, and I deleted my Facebook, so I don't use Messenger anymore.
Oh, so do you not have a Facebook anymore?
No, I deactivated it.
Oh, nice. Okay, respect.
Yeah,
I actually thought about doing that
on her Facebook because I was like, yeah.
So I remember the first night that like we started texting. A little bit of a backstory. I was trying Bumble at the recommendation of a girlfriend. She's like, just do it. Like, it'll be fine.
The first night?
So I did it for like 20 minutes, like the week before. And I had a panic attack because I saw a bunch of people on there I know. And I was like, no. And so I deleted it. And she's like, no, Sarah, just try again. It'll be fine. So then I probably did it for like a week-ish.
Okay.
And I couldn't get anybody to write me back, because it's girls have to write first. So I'd like write to a guy, and then they would only answer questions. They wouldn't ever like converse. I was like, F this. Like,
people are
who
boring.
does this? Yeah, like it's 2016. Like you should be able to have a conversation.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah, I don't think that's like asking too much.
No, I completely agree.
So then I'd actually gone on a run with my mom, and I got back in the car, and of course I didn't tell her that I was doing online dating because there's a piece of shame to that.
Well, plus it's that app, so it's like more loose, like fast paced,
and it's like complicated to explain to a 55-year-old woman. Like, love you, mom, but So I just didn't say anything, and I got back in my car after we were running, and I had a match, and so of course every time I would get a match, I'd have to look back at their profiles.
Of course,
I don't think I've ever told you this. So like see who they were.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, I remember this. And so I like.
Interesting. I want to know. I want to hear like,
So and I remember seeing like your little bio. It was like you were on a trip from Seattle to wherever in California.
Yeah, I temporarily updated it. Yeah.
Good idea. That makes you sound very interesting.
I wanted to say like, just I'm not here. I don't live here.
If I saw that, I probably would have swiped right on you too. Okay, so you can continue.
Well, and I like. It was a weird
So she was
situation.
looking for drifters, honestly.
Basically.
Really?
I was like, I'm
Right.
sick of the tent city next to work. I'm going to move on to the...
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You've exhausted the tent city. Time to move on to drifters.
Exactly. So I was like,
Oh my
oh,
God.
shoot, I'm just going to write something and we'll see what happens, which I expected it to be nothing.
Yeah.
And so I think that I said like, what are you doing between these two cities? And you wrote back immediately. And I was like, well, this is different.
or something.
No, those started later, I think.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
But then like he kept answering and I was like, this is weird. And I'm like, P&G, what's that? Like I've learned so much
Really?
About
since
this
then. Yeah.
soap company.
P&G is just some initials on the back of my laundry.
Yeah, like most of it,
detergent.
yeah.
Like I don't know that people actually work there.
It's all magical. It just appears out of the ether.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I remember saying something to him about like, you were leaving the next day and it was the start of my weekend because I worked the weekend. And so the weekdays I was off and then you just didn't stop talking. You're like, well, I'm down at this bar. Like
Austin knows my online game or presence or whatever. Like I
Dude.
love texting.
He does.
So.
He does.
No, it's fine. And it was just so not what I was used to because I was used to men doing like 3 texts, only answering the exact questions I asked.
Yep.
And so when there was actual conversation, I was like, well, this is entertaining. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
right.
And he asked me if I wanted to meet him, but I was so sweaty from my run and I had just like turned on the oven for whatever I was eating. And I'm like, I don't really think so. Plus I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to meet this guy. Like I haven't hardly gotten anyone to respond to me online,
Right,
let
right.
alone go meet
Yeah.
them. Like,
I
and
can't
then-
really remember. Well, I wasn't like macking like hard. Like okay, I was like, wait, how did I start that? Because I'm not really that forward of a dude. So I'm like, how did I
don't-
even come up? Yeah.
I think that you just asked me like, hey, I'm out here. If you want to meet up, that's fine.
Oh.
And I figured that once I said no, you would have,
Stop talking to you.
right. And then like 6 hours later, I'm like, I've showered. I'm in bed. I'm like, my night has completed.
Yeah, right. Right.
I'm like,
I-
oh, you think you're getting away? I basically like Dave,
Gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha.
Well, and I remember being like, I should have come out and meet you. Like this would have been fun. And you were like, yeah, I wish you would have too. But
I mean, it would have been
But
nice.
hey.
Yeah.
But hey, yeah. Here I am in
I
Ohio.
had fun that night, like bumbling, because when we were
truly
chatting.
entertaining.
Yeah, because I was at the bar, and then it closed at like 11, and then went up to my room, and then I actually like hung out in the back, whatever you can kind of see the city by all those kegs,
Porch.
and then just like hung out outside, talking to her, and I had like a couple beers I bought because I knew the bar was closing like earlier than when I was going to bed, so it was like my nightcaps, and I just chatted with her out there.
Wow.
It was nice.
That's awesome. So how long had you been using Bumble for like that third trial run? When
That
you got
was my
match?
second trial.
Okay,
run.
second trial run.
I only specify because there was a third trial run.
Right after this.
After that.
Gotcha.
I don't know. It was probably, I don't know, maybe like 2 days ish after that.
Okay.
I probably deleted it. Like,
Gotcha.
well, this didn't work, and he's now in Eureka, California.
right. Well, I remember because when you deleted your account, the whole conversation went away, and I was like, "Whoa!" There was like tons of info in that. And I was like, "Oh, dang!"
But I
Oh,
think
well.
that got deleted before.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't know, because I
remember
remember
it was
you like
gone.
writing me on Facebook being like, I think that our conversation got deleted, except I still had it.
Oh, shit.
And I was like,
How
okay,
does
he
that-
Mm.
just
yeah.
doesn't know how to work it.
yeah, it was
Which,
weird.
knowing you now, I'm like, something
doesn't
must
check
have
out.
I
happened.
think the app was being odd. It was like, yeah,
Yeah,
it was being weird. I just remember it was just so much. Not that I was like wanting to keep it forever and ever, like a weirdo. But I just remember it was just like, whoa, that was like a ton of information, just like, whew.
A lot of
Just-
really good conversations too.
Yeah.
I feel that's why I keep my Tinder undeleted, so I have like the conversations for when like me and Alex started talking, just in case I need to
right.
reference them or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I completely
So have
understand.
you ever
that.
considered just screenshotting those so you can actually delete your Tinder
That's
account?
actually a good idea because there's not that many of them. Probably
Yeah.
gonna do that later today.
I have
actually.
done that before, just
Really?
screenshotted texts that I want to keep. So then I'm not like scrolling through months and months.
That's a
That's
good
true.
idea.
And then like I just put them in my favorites in my photo album, so then I'm not scrolling through months and months of pictures too.
I
That
just
makes
search.
sense.
I keep everything.
Yeah, that's funny.
Ours is quite large. I want to know the file size.
I was
You know,
gonna
it's all
say.
text. It's got to be huge.
Yeah. Wow. So at what point did the podcast come up?
Oh,
Oh yeah, you kind of mentioned this earlier today. Yeah.
like immediately because I had just started listening to a new one, and like I
this
remember.
Anyway.
Anyway.
I told Anthony earlier, I have an unfortunately good memory for things that don't matter.
Unfortunately, I've actually noticed that. I have noticed that
About me?
in the comments that he
Oh,
makes
yeah,
about
yeah,
you,
yeah.
because he's like, "Oh yeah, you said this thing like 3 months ago, and she made fun of you." And I was like,
Yeah,
I was like,
So,
"That's."
I know it's kind of embarrassing because it sounds like I'm a creeper, but
No.
it's just is the way I was built, I guess.
Yeah.
So I remember like standing at my stove asking him if he like listened to podcasts, and then it was like, actually, my friend and I have one.
And I remember thinking she's probably like, what? This guy's like just saying, you know, whatever. I remember because I was like, I kind of have to prove it. Or, I don't know. Did I link it? I don't know.
No, you just told me what it's called. Okay. So then I remember because I had just gone on a run and I was filthy.
Right.
So I like just hit play and hopped in the shower, and I have a mug in my bathroom that I just use as a speaker.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, because it
like amplifies.
magnifies. Yeah.
And that's when I like was
word.
like, you know, mid hair wash or something, and you started talking, and I was like, holy shit!
Wait,
he has an accent.
Oh that's right. That's how that started. Yeah.
That's where
Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah,
I guess there's.
Yeah, dude.
We're actually rated. Yeah, whatever.
I've seen the explicit. And I think that the times you guys have cussed is maybe like 5.
It's very minimal, but you never know what's gonna happen.
Man,
right?
Yeah,
never know.
Fuck no.
Justified.
That's awesome.
Justified.
So,
Justified.
And of course, it was like all about virtual reality, and I'm like, what? This is like listening to a different language.
Oh wow!
Our first
Did you start
episode
with the
was
first
super-
episode?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
It was kind of early on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The
but
first
it
one
really
was the
wasn't
first one.
because you and I started talking in August, and you guys started recording in June.
Yeah, we were on like episode
wow.
16 or something
Holy
because that's the
crap.
one that
Yeah.
Dave came
Okay.
on in your stead.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I
that's
skipped that one.
You skipped that without Anthony in
Yeah,
it,
well, because it was really hard to hear him because he wasn't here.
right?
Oh,
It was like on the phone, and so
Yeah.
it was just like static and.
And I was in a
annoying,
park
so I
in
skipped.
San Francisco.
Right,
and
yeah.
It was like
Oh, you were
windy.
on the phone too? Yeah. See, I skipped that one entirely.
That's
I
funny.
had a
Yeah.
hard time hearing them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's similar to what Alex said about like when she was listening to back episodes. It's like, yeah, there was one with a guest on it, and I just kind of skipped that one because he's not the person that I'm listening to.
But I've liked all your other guests.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and I like Dave in person, like when
Okay.
he's here sitting in the chair, not
Just
on
not on the
speakerphone.
Oh,
Oh
Skype.
no, I'm talking about when Dave was in person. Because when you were gone, Dave was here in person, but we called you.
I guess
Right.
maybe then I heard you on the phone, and
Yeah.
the static was annoying.
That
so
might
I
have
just
been
skipped.
it. Yeah,
was,
that
yeah.
makes sense. But yeah, the one with Dave on the phone was
Which now we know
recent.
like Skyping is way more. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when Dave
efficient.
Skyped in, it wasn't bad.
Okay.
Like I could hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Nice.
It's just better to have things in person anyways.
Yeah.
Especially Dave, everybody.
yeah, that's funny. So I asked Alex this question too, but what is it like getting to know someone based on a podcast that they do?
I loved Alex's episode.
Really?
Yes, it was fantastic. I should say Alex's episode because I felt
Yeah.
so much like, oh my gosh, this is exactly how I feel. Like so creepy
Oh yeah.
because it's just a one-sided conversation, and I'm like,
And you
of
can't
course, here's my
contribute.
memory, like logging in all this stuff I know about Anthony, but I can't like, oh, and I like,
Yeah.
Oh, like to add in.
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
add in the conversation at all.
Right.
And so I'm just listening to you guys like have your opinions about things, and then just keeping them all in my head at work.
And then remembering every single detail for later.
Not every single detail, but like some.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I'm
That's
sure we
funny.
have some opinions. You're like, what? Or like we start talking about medical something. You're like, no.
Yeah.
I just
Sometimes
laugh
yeah.
when
Yeah,
you talk
I'm
about
sure.
the medical stuff.
Oh yeah, that's. I think I've even mentioned like Sarah's gonna be like
Yeah, you have.
not having a good time with this info right now.
Well, and so I listened to that episode at home, and I was literally texting you like, "This is hilarious."
yeah.
As I'm hearing, Sarah's gonna laugh at this.
That's funny.
Oh wow!
That's great.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
So then, of course, the first time that you actually talked with voices was when you called into the podcast.
Yes.
So
And that was the first time I've ever heard her voice.
Exactly.
Which was like people are like, wait, the first time you ever heard her voice was
When we all heard her
calling in?
voice.
yeah, exactly when everybody heard it at the
Like,
same
Anthony,
time.
you're weird.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, but so it's like everything about you guys is like centered around this podcast. And
It
I'm
is
just kind of
kinda-
here in the background. It's like, hey, how's it going?
But what I'll have to say about that though, Austin, is that like my friend who I stayed with in Dayton, she
Yeah.
was like, what's this guy about? Who do we know? And I was like, like everything that he has told me, like nothing makes me question his intentions or like question his like authenticity, and everything that I listen to in the podcast like validates that because
Interesting.
there's not like conflicting stories. It's
I
not
see
like
what
you're telling me something and then you're telling Austin a different answer to the same question.
Oh, I see.
And so it was
like,
really,
I'm
like-
self-corroborating and didn't even know it.
Yeah, which was nice because I'm like, oh, he's like however many miles it is from Portland to Cincinnati.
And he would be calling me out on it. If I was like, oh
And
yeah,
Dave for
Austin,
sure-
actually, I'm like a secret millionaire. I told this one girl I was, so just keep going.
And thankfully, Dave really would call you.
Oh,
out.
yeah. Dave would be like, you ain't no deal like aggro on me.
Yeah.
He might hit me. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
hope.
yeah,
No,
he,
he won't hit
just
me.
steamroll
Yeah, he's
verbally.
yeah, he
Yeah.
would verbally steamroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, he
That's
would.
an interesting point.
I know. I didn't even.
point.
That's a good. Yeah.
I didn't. Now I'm
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Now
I just
like
didn't think of it.
What other aspects am I not thinking about?
I wonder if Alex feels the same way. Well,
But she didn't.
no.
She even said she didn't listen to all of them
Right,
because
she
she
did.
felt like
The
she was
creeperish
creepy,
kinda-
and
yeah.
that like you talked about whoever that other girl you dated for a few weeks. She's like, I didn't want to know about that.
Oh,
That's
well,
true, 'cause
Well,
that'd be a
so that
little
was
weird.
that was like the first one that she targeted. That episode.
Oh, that was by mistake though.
Well, she.
Or did she go like, ooh, description, Austin's girlfriend, click?
Click.
So she saw like that it was called "Should I End My Current Relationship?"
Oh, and that was with Dave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
See,
the one with
dumb
Dave.
memory.
So of course, that's the first one that she listened to, and it didn't seem like she like felt that weird about it. I don't think.
Well, you
Just
got
like
pretty
things to
deep
look
on that
out
one.
for, really.
You got pretty deep on that one, and
That was a very personal episode.
yeah, it was. It was. I remember I was like, I can't believe he's like, because like you said earlier, like everything's what's said on here is like technically forever because everything
is.
on the internet is forever. So
Yeah, and that's why like with this podcast, I use it as a means to make sure that I'm being my true self, kind of. So if I make myself say what I'm actually thinking on the internet, online, for everyone that listens, it's
see what
like
you're
I
saying.
have no excuse to be anybody else.
Well, and
true.
that's
Kinda-
like what it was really nice to like learn about Anthony. That
Yeah.
everything he told me not on the podcast was what he was saying on the internet too.
I
Completely
just-
true, yeah.
this is pretty open.
I know, but there
That's
are people
definitely
in the
true.
world that are different people, like at work than they are at home, that they
Okay.
are like with this separate social
Yeah.
group or this social group.
Oh yeah.
That's
so
true.
it's just really refreshing that somebody can be the same in all areas of their life.
No doubt.
Awesome. That's a
yeah.
good side effect.
Yeah. I totally vibe with what you're saying about people being boring over Bumble too. Cuz like when I was going through was going through, it's like it's not just dudes either. It's like most people.
Yeah.
Do either of you have a Bumble account?
I haven't.
I want to see it. So
Okay.
a girlfriend of mine got drunk and downloaded it after she like made fun of it. And so we've been trying to figure out like what girls' profiles are like because she experienced the same thing as
Oh,
I
I don't
did,
know.
that like she would write and never hear back. And
Okay. Oh,
then
yeah.
I
You're
actually
right. Yeah, there was actually a girl that like a couple weeks ago out of nowhere. I told you this. Patrick and I were making fun of it.
Yeah.
So this it was like. So I'm
remember
sorry.
this.
I kind of cut you off.
That's okay.
But I know exactly what you're saying because a lot of people in Austin, you're exactly right. I don't think it's like a male female thing. It's like just some people just suck, or a lot of people just I think suck at conversing online. I don't know. I don't get it.
You said that. I said a lot of people are just boring. I think most
okay.
people just suck.
and I would say some people just suck at conversing, whether it's online or in person.
in
Okay,
general,
yeah.
very true. Yeah, so it's
But,
magnified over text because you have to be creative,
Well, and
and
succinct.
crafty. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I have good grammar and such.
That's true. But so out of nowhere, so this was like months ago. Like we did like the normal thing where it was like you said, like answer question, answer, and no one not giving up any more information on their side. It's like trying to like kickstart an engine without any fuel.
It's an interview.
Right? Yeah, yeah. And I don't like it.
Very
Kind of
true.
sucks.
Yeah,
Very
it's-
accurate.
And like out of nowhere, it was like 3 months later, she just was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, I looked at the date, I was like, "What the hell?" And I told
She just
Patrick
came
about
out
it.
of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere, and I was like, I screenshot it and sent it to Patrick because I thought he would find it funny. And I told Patrick, I was like, in 3 months, I'm gonna be like, "Will you marry me?" Like, 'cause, like it was like we talked, and then she was like, "What's up?" 3 months later, "Will you marry me?" And then Patrick said 3 months after that, she would be like, "I'm pregnant." It was that joke was Patrick.
That's
It
hilarious.
was so funny. It was like, "Oh, I should do that." And like Michael was like, "I think that sounds like something you would do."
It totally does.
And so I am going to do that. So in like 2 more months, I'm just going to be like, "Hey, what's up with you?"
Do I need to talk louder?
no, you're good. No, you're
Okay.
good. It looks good.
Kidding.
Well, so I was
probably
listening
won't.
to another podcast recently.
You
and
listen to other podcasts.
I know.
Cut the feed. Cut the feed. No, I'm just kidding.
But they were talking about like online dating apps and like ranking them, and they were like, Tinder's pretty sleazy. No offense to you and Alex, but
No,
like
no, it's-
generally it's pretty sleazy.
That's why
I
I'm
was
so
surprised.
surprised.
And then they were
Honestly,
like, Bumble
yeah.
is for lazy people. And I'm like, oh my
Lazy
gosh,
How
people.
so?
because it's an interview. Like people don't like actually attempt. So it's
But I feel like Tinder and Bumble are like kind of similar, but
Oh,
on
gee.
Tinder, like both can talk. I did Tinder just slightly, and then Bumble, and I haven't really been doing any.
I
of that.
definitely feel you about the Tinder being sleazier. Or like
it the
because Bumble, what I've seen is there are fewer people on there, but more people looking for long-term relationships based on my
Okay.
experience.
you should
with it.
come to Portland and do it. I think that's another reason I said yes to Anthony, because he wasn't the douchey Portlander.
Oh really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you mentioned that earlier.
Oh my
on.
gosh.
You're not like.
Like part of the reason I deleted it was I was just so sick of seeing like their profile. So first of all, like they have like 6 model shots. Like who the heck just has these photos?
They
Like,
went to
glamour
Sears.
yes, like
like
not like glamour shots like with a boa and like a teddy bear and that kind of
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Awesome,
like
though.
they have like true, like you would see in a magazine, like, oh you're like this, like who does that?
That's hilarious.
Not just like a selfie. Like I feel like that's normal because that's what you actually have on your cell phone.
Right. Exactly.
But then their little description would be like, and they all work at Nike or Intel because their headquarters are in Portland.
That's funny. Yeah. Everybody around here works at Bob Evans.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
So they would be working at Nike or Intel, and I just kind of know that some of those people are pretentious a-holes that I don't necessarily want to date.
I see.
And then it's like, I'm a runner, not a jogger. I actually travel, don't just talk about it. I'm like,
they said stuff like that.
Their, like,
yeah.
profile. I
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
You know, instead of being like, I'm 6'2", I'm athletic, I love blah, blah, blah. They just have all these like, don't contact me if.
Yeah.
So they're like,
gotta be 5'5".
yeah.
Or they would say like, I'm 6'3" because apparently that matters.
Yeah. Oh, just super
so they're,
jaded.
like, snarky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Wow.
Everybody's like that, or like most people. You just talking about the Nike people.
Or no, it's not just the Nike people. And
Gotcha.
I love Nike. Like I'm obsessed. So I don't want to.
Disclaimer.
Yeah. But
Nice.
it's just kind of a lot of people worked at Nike.
Yeah. Different areas, I'm sure, have a lot of different like personality profiles.
I could see
yeah,
that.
it's just
on
like
where
the
you
different
are.
type of person that you like.
Yeah.
You know, there's this type of person lives in Portland and this type of person lives in Ohio.
Right. Definitely.
So, yeah, that's. But then my third Bumble attempt.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's get into that
Deliver
real
me.
quick.
So it was funny because like I had started it up and not told Anthony because I was like, I don't really know how to tell him that I'm like back on Bumble. But then he had mentioned it like the next day.
So it's like,
yeah.
okay, so the doors are open
Why?
again.
Because
Yeah.
I kind of felt weird. I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, because you
I
guys
just didn't know how to
you're on a
navigate that.
coast and you're in the middle of the United States.
Yeah.
Interesting scenario.
Yeah, just kind of weird. So I did it. And again, I wasn't getting anybody to respond to me. And so my friend at work who met her fiance online, I was like, Dominique, here's my phone. You write to all these people I've matched with because clearly you are better at this than I am.
Interesting.
We still got 0 responses.
Oh my god.
Didn't matter.
But actually we got one response and he was from like a news reporter, like in a local news station. So I thought like he should be able to converse.
You're right.
That's-
He
exactly.
was great
Kinda
at the
like a
interview.
podcast.
Answering questions, not asking
Oh,
any.
okay. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And I was like, F this. Like, I'm done.
Yeah. I
I'm so
understand
turned
that.
off by this.
Mhm. It's
That's
really
good.
hard.
That's kind of good to hear on that side of the coin because I felt the same way for most of the girls. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and that's why it was so awesome when I like actually started talking to Alex because I think the sentence I kept saying was like, I actually care about what she's saying. It's weird.
Yeah,
because most people,
cool.
like you're saying, are totally boring. And they're just like,
Totally
oh, yeah.
boring.
And I actually downloaded both of these if you want to start swiping.
Oh, I do.
All swiping left, please.
Oh, I
don't.
Oh my
I
God.
can't do Tinder
need-
because
Okay,
I don't know how to do Tinder, and I thought it was the same as Bumble. So
It's
it was on
very
my
similar, but
The
girlfriend's
yeah.
phone.
swiping's a little different.
It's
yeah.
slightly, the minutia.
Well, and when you swipe up on Bumble, it's to look at their next pictures. I learned when you swipe on
Super
Tinder,
like.
it's super like.
Oh my god. So they're like, who's this girl?
Yep.
So I was on.
I
okay,
deceived a few people on accident like that.
the night that I gave you my phone number
Mm-hmm.
was my friend and I were out at this event in Portland that we go to every year, and I was like, "Hey, Brittany, can I play Tinder on your phone?" That's what I call it. Is
Play
playing
Tinder.
Play
Yeah.
Tinder. Yeah, that's what most people say. Like you see in descriptions sometimes, just doing this to spend time at work, just to waste some time.
Right.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah, people just play
I
like
was
a game.
playing Tinder, and then I was like, "Oh my gosh, what I do?" She goes, "Oh my gosh, what did you do, Sarah? Stop!" And so then I would just tell her, "I'm like, I need you. I'll tell you what I want to do, and I'll just have you do the swiping.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to screw it up.
Oh,
I'll look later
You
at
can just.
Bumble.
You can just. Okay, that's fine.
Well, I just want to know, like,
Yeah. Well, look at this person.
you never get to see like the same sex's Bumble account
Oh,
unless
the
you're doing
opposite.
a like
Unless you
homosexual
like switch
relationship.
to like
Right.
lesbian or something.
Right.
Right.
But I'm not, so and because
That's
I knew
funny.
so many people on there,
Yeah.
I'm sure I would see some lesbian accounts,
Oh,
and then suddenly
shoot.
they'd
And
think
they
I'm
would-
lesbian.
they'd-
I'm like,
Oh no.
actually, this was just kind
That's
of
funny.
in data gathering.
You're just dating.
Yeah, it was just investigatory work.
Exactly.
And actually, like, what helped me a lot, you said you went to your friend, you were like, how do I do this? Do this for me?
Yeah.
I went to Anthony and I was like, Anthony, I'm not getting enough matches. What am I doing? He's like, all right, let's start with your pictures. So he looked through my pictures and he's like, all right,
Did
this
he
is
do?
good.
Did he tell you to do a shirtless selfie? Because he had a shirtless selfie on his.
He didn't.
I took that
He
off.
said
I
he
think
tried that, but it didn't.
Wait, did I take that? I mean, I haven't
said you
used it
took
in
it
forever. I forgot all about that.
You advised
Sorry,
that
I
I
just
didn't
totally
do it.
threw you under the bus.
That's fine. I'm kind of embarrassed that I even had that.
No, it's completely fine.
And when I asked him about it, he said it was because the lighting at his hostel was good.
Yeah, no, it was. So when I got, it was the first spot. Okay, good.
Just
I
for
took
the
it
lighting.
off.
That's
Not that I
hilarious.
really use this, but
Oh my god. Yeah.
So yeah, I was like getting ready for a bike ride, and I had in the hostel there's like this little sink in the corner just for like washing, like brushing your teeth and washing your face. That's it.
Yeah.
Because the bathroom and showers are in like community things, and I remember I was going to the locker and I like looked and it was like dimly, like this weird dim light coming over, and it accentuated my like, because I was like the most fit I have ever been in my life.
I was the most fitness I ever
Yeah, but fitness. My damn bumpkins.
And you wonder why I think he has an accent.
Right.
Exactly.
But I was like, I don't know. I don't think I'm like vain like that. But I like caught myself in the mirror. I was like, oh damn, because I was like,
this
you
is
have to
art.
understand, I was like fat for a long time. Like I was like Jabba the Fro for like ever. And then all of a sudden I like rammed down. And then since I was like biking so much, it was like got that excess water weight off too. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh dude. I took a selfie. I was like, that bitch is going right on Bumble. And I was like, that's perfect. But then it was like, amazing. I think I heard someone on the podcast or some other thing where they're like, yeah, I always swipe to the right or whatever the negative one is.
Yeah.
Whenever I see a shirtless bathroom shot, and I was like, delete.
So you saw that on people's profiles when you were swiping or something?
What do you mean?
Didn't you say like you saw it on certain people's Bumble profiles?
A girl would be like, if you have a shirtless bathroom shot, don't even bother. Yeah. And I was like, and then I saw another one. I was like, oh shit, this is a thing.
That's not good.
I think that I maybe told you that too.
I think you might have been one. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Because like, it's just crap. So.
Yeah, it's douchey.
Yeah,
I understand.
It's like the girl in the duck lips, like.
Oh, or with the Snapchat dog.
Yeah. Although those are really funny. I don't have Snapchat because I can't figure it out. You don't have
Snapchat. I know. You need to get Snapchat so Anthony gets Snapchat because he won't do it.
But I can't figure it out. Like even my cousin is like 19. She's my tech person.
Do you want to be in a Snapchat right now?
I like to do I get in my other cousins and I'm like, let's snap this to the girl you're dating. He will tell them like, no, this is my cousin, but it's fun because I don't do it, and then I don't have to be responsible for figuring it out.
Right? Yeah,
that's funny.
I just in my head, it's like another social app that I'm just like, well, I guess
it'll drain your battery.
But I've been told
the
I
man
need
who loves
Instagram.
Technology.
I know that's why it's frustrating.
Yeah, you don't have Instagram either.
That's what I was about to say because I love taking photos and people are like, you of all people need Instagram. I'm like, yeah, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like I would have to start building and then I would be like overthinking my shots. I take photos just for me. Like I post a lot on Facebook, not recently, but the only reason why I have it is basically a timeline historical recording of what I've been doing,
which I like
for later in the future. Because when I was in college, this is like the background why I take so many damn photos. Because in college, I wish I had that and had that ability for like the cheap digital cameras, and I'm just like, I wish I had all those photos from all those fun times.
Yeah.
So now I have it. And like my friend groups were like making fun of me until like after the trips that we would go on, be like, they would like it. So yeah. Stop making fun of me.
Which is why it's nice hanging out when we go places. Cause I'm like, I don't have to worry about taking pictures because Anthony's here.
I know. When I bought my plane ticket, I told Anthony, I'm like, we can do like 2 selfies. I'm not doing as many as
I haven't done one. I mean, besides for the podcast, but I remember you saying, you don't like it live.
But I would have to call you out, Austin, because you totally do have an Instagram, or you did it one time.
Yeah.
Because you kept coming up on my people you may know. And I'm like, how do they know that I sort of know him?
Yeah.
And so I'd click on your account and it's like, no photos posted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I do have a ghost Instagram account that I made. I don't remember when I made it.
Signed up and then
never used it.
I think that I finally like hit the little X in the corner because I'm
like,
like,
get this guy out of there.
Well, I don't really know you, and that'd be super creepy. And you have no photos, so
why would you even?
Yeah, I don't need to follow you.
It might as well not be there.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun. I had a ghost Instagram for a while just to follow the celebrities that I like.
Nice. Okay. I kind of do that with Twitter. Respect. I don't really tweet anything.
Yeah, I can't figure out Twitter either, so I deleted
Twitter
that.
Is an odd. Twitter's an odd one, but it's great for like news on demand, like when things are like breaking,
happening. Because everybody's like, oh, going straight to Twitter.
Yeah, people are like, oh, there's a shooting. I'm in a cupboard right now. And they're like, oh shit, I'm like reading this as it's like.
Are there shootings often that we need to hide in cupboards for?
Not typically.
No, I mean, that's like one example. I remember like just like San Bernardino, or whatever one of them was, like at the school.
Like a school shooting, not like just down the street in Ohio.
Yeah,
and I was just getting like info on the story just because I'm like a news junkie, and then like people were tweeting that were on the campus, and I was like, this is weird. Yeah, it's crazy.
No Twitter for me.
Respect. But anyway.
Yes.
Anthony curated my Bumble photos.
Oh yeah. Which we went on like a huge rant there.
I'm so glad you like your train of thought.
I tend to like derail. I even derail his Austin's stories, but, or my own damn stories. I'm like, I just start going off the rails, and Austin's like, anyways.
You're like a
40 minutes later,
right? Squirrel.
No, that's why it works. That's why it works. But yeah, so you did that, and it directly translated to my Tinder photos, and that's when I started getting more swipe rights. Ooh. So. Are me and Alex together because of your curation? I don't know.
I would like to think so.
I would like to think.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. It's completely, But yeah.
What was it? It was like
So we can look at it right now.
I
since
can't remember what
downloaded it
photos
again.
were. I do remember I was like,
You took half of them.
So did
I
you
remember-
guys do like a modeling like thing
I didn't
down
like.
here?
I didn't.
That's why you have the curtains, huh? The black
Yeah, that's
so
what
you
it
have a
is.
background.
That's what. Yeah, I stood there like this.
So that it's,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
a bathroom shirtless
also
selfie.
show me
It's like-
fears, show me anger, give me some energy.
Exactly. So
Forrest comes, he comes down like slowly backs up the stairs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on now.
This is the one that he took when we went to Put in Bay.
Oh yes, I've seen this.
Oh, yeah, because
Okay.
Patrick did.
Oh, I haven't seen this. Oh, I think that you should keep your beard.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you think? Okay, good.
I did too.
All right, cool.
Not that you asked me, but
I've asked
Oh,
everyone.
this
I
is
feel like.
Chicago.
Yeah, it is. Nice. There it
Oh,
is. This is.
I just love Chicago.
Chicago's fantastic. I
Um,
want to go there again sometime soon.
yeah,
Especially
we were
now
talking
that it's
about
warm.
taking the train.
Yes, we
Remember?
were. Yeah, last episode. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the last episode.
Yep.
yeah, after
Call
that,
back.
I
Days
stopped
ago.
Call
listening.
back.
That's okay. I kind of figured most people would. Since a
Wow,
lot of
you
people
keep your
kind of-
shoes really clean because these are the same ones in the picture that you wore today,
Yep, I do.
and they look like they just came out of the box.
I've got a bleach pen.
Wow. You got-
You're kidding.
I'm not.
Wait,
kidding.
is it a
It's
P&G
in, the,
bleach
it's in the
pen?
shelf over there.
Is it
Probably a
Clorox?
Tide. Oh, Clorox, I guess. Is what
It's
it is.
Clorox.
Wow.
She's got it.
She's
She's got it. But yeah, so that's the result of Anthony's work. I think there's a different
Okay.
one that's on the Tinder account that actually helped a lot. But anyway,
But the thing with the beard is that like young men clean shaven look like teenagers.
look like
Oh,
teenagers.
baby
yeah.
face. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you think this is working right now?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It's
Sweet.
working for me,
Good.
Austin.
All right.
Alex is listening like, on
Oh, jeez.
Friday in the future.
Right, a week from now.
Yeah.
And on that note, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with episode 41 of the P-Funk and Fro Show. And we're back with episode 41 of the P-Funk and Fro Show. Once again, Austin Anthony as well as Sarah from Portland. She made a noise. It wasn't very loud. I
She
don't know.
bit-
I don't know if I can make
It's like a
it
pop. Well, the pop.
There it is.
Pop.
Yeah, I have a pop filter. I don't know if that made it through the
Oh yeah,
pop.
here we go.
There
Nope,
we go.
that
There we
didn't
go.
work either.
I'll
That is
magnify it.
better.
I'm going to zoom in and magnify that sound.
Okay.
So it's the loudest
Whoa.
noise. But anyway, you were just about to tell me a very interesting story. So you've traveled the world a little
little
bit
bit.
more than Anthony and I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
So have you been out of the country, Anthony?
Nova Scotia, but that's
Nova
just
Scotia.
Canada. That's
Yeah.
just damn North America. Just kidding.
America's hat.
Yeah, America's hat.
Yeah, and I went to
Wait,
Canada
is
last
Mexico
year.
America's trousers?
I suppose it is.
Interesting.
A weird kind of like pointed
That's dirty.
trousers. America's
Or is
a
like
mermaid.
America is the U.S. the T-shirt and Mexico's the trousers.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
On
I like
one
that.
leg, and then Florida's maybe the other leg. I don't know.
I like to think.
Florida is. We all know what Florida is.
Do we?
Anyways, yes.
I've never been.
You've never been to
That's
Florida?
America's dong.
No.
Like, what?
I'm like, you guys are moving on. I'm like, it's America's dong. Actually, it's America's dong.
I actually didn't know what.
Yeah, I've
Florida
never
was.
heard that.
People have, yeah.
That's-
Am I the only one that hasn't heard that? I mean, Austin and I are the only
I
ones.
mean, it kinda
Anthony
looks
lives
like
on
a-
Reddit, so I assume it's a big Reddit
Yeah, I
thing.
live on Reddit.
Yeah, he's from Reddit. He's
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
Reddit.
he definitely is.
That's hilarious. But yeah, so I've been out of the country kind of for Canada last year, but other
Yeah.
than that, not really. You were about to tell me
Yeah.
a very interesting story, I assume, of when you visited Kenya.
Yeah, Kenya last year. So last March,
Okay.
middle of March, 2 weeks in Kenya with my
Gotcha.
church.
Okay, sweet.
There's a group of 15 of us. Our church sponsors an organization called Missions of Hope International, and
Wow.
then it works with a U.S. company as well. So we sponsor missionaries that live there full time, but then we also sponsor one of the schools. So it is an organization that has 16-ish schools in the slums right outside of Nairobi, Kenya, in the Mathare Valley. So it's about a 2 square mile spot, but it's not really a square. It's just kind of scattered.
And how long
Okay.
do you go for?
We went for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So there are, over 10, maybe 20 schools. I can't remember the names of all of them.
Okay.
But our church specifically sponsors one of them. So in this 2 square miles, there's about
Okay.
1 million people that live there.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's really,
crazy.
That's
really
insane.
populated. But it's beyond any poverty that you could imagine.
Hmm.
So the only comparison I can give you is Slumdog Millionaire.
Okay.
That movie and the poverty that they have. But what you don't get from Slumdog Millionaire that you get while you're in Kenya is the smell and like the sounds and the like actually seeing what people live in and seeing what they eat and you know
Yeah.
how they operate a business.
Yeah.
So we worked in the schools while we were there. We worked at a couple different ones, but then spent some time at the school that we particularly sponsor. We did read aloud programs. So we have a couple of the people that were on my team are teachers, and we're doing read aloud in the schools. So like we're all familiar with going to grade school and like having your teacher read to you and then like asking questions about the book to like for comprehension and all that.
Yeah.
But that's not something that they know because they don't have the resources and they operate on an English school system, like Britain English.
Oh.
So it's a lot of memorization and then like you have to pass these exams to move on to the next grade. There's no like, you know, holding
formal like grades or
no, there is, but it's not like
it's not as time based. Maybe
like this group of kids in one grade and this group. And then...
It's all time based, but you know how here your parents can like go and tell the teacher like, oh, be kinder to them, like give them a better grade, blah blah blah. Like there's none of that. Like you either pass the test or you don't.
It's a little bit more strict.
That's
then?
my understanding of it.
Okay.
So a lot of times they'll have to like learn about things, but never actually get to see what it is because they live in the slums of Kenya.
Right.
So we took books in all different categories. There's like health, farming, you know, all these things for pre-unit, I think it's called, the equivalent to kindergarten, first and second grade.
G-unit.
It's like, yeah, nursery is preschool and then pre-unit, I think was what they did for kindergarten. And then, oh gosh, I cannot remember what they called first and second grade.
I think it was G-unit actually.
I think it probably was too.
From my time, yes.
Right,
yeah.
right.
And so we just had the different books for different ages.
Yeah.
And then we would go and read books to the class.
Wow.
And ask them questions. And it's adorable because then you get in unison like 50 little Kenyan kids answering questions and singing you songs. And
wow, that's crazy.
but the room, like their classroom often has no windows. They like the hallway is not wide enough that the doors can open without hitting each other.
Oh, wow.
So then all the doors have to be like aligned properly for you to be able to get through the hallway.
That's insane.
Do they have like power there constantly? Or
So a couple
does
of
that
years ago, I think, you know, years ago they did get power. And some of the schools still don't have it, but it's like they're working with the government to get it.
Oh.
So then another group has done a project that they called, I think it's called like Bring the Light, where they cut holes in the roofs so that they can actually have light in the classroom.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was totally life-changing.
I bet it was.
So we did like a day of travel and then maybe 9 days there. And then we did a 2.5-day safari.
Oh, I was going to ask, like,
Yeah.
so were you doing it the whole time or did you have time to adventure in Kenya?
No, we
It
had
sounds
time to
like-
adventure.
Wow.
Which was really needed because you're in such a culture shock while you're there. So coming home is equally a culture shock. So having the time in safari is really like some downtime, decompressed time before you get on a plane and come back to America and like go back to a first world country.
Yeah, I can
I
see
bet it
that.
made you appreciate like everything here like way more.
I was gonna
Like
say,
Yeah.
warm showers or was
Yeah, it does. Like, but we did mission trips in Mexico in high school. And then
Okay.
like a couple years ago, I went back and did another, but it was different because like, it's just poverty beyond anything you can imagine.
like beyond comprehension.
Yeah. So like I've never had like culture shock coming home from Mexico, maybe because it's so close and I've been there enough times to like expect that.
It is just a set of trousers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is just a set of trousers. But when I came home from Africa, I was like almost in a depression. And I was like texting our group leader, who's the pastor of our church, who's
Yeah.
a friend of mine. And I'm like, what do I do? Like,
Yeah.
when can I expect this to go away?
Wow.
And he said, about the same time you were there is about as long as it should take you to feel like acclimated back home.
Really? Wow.
So I found myself being you and like going to Starbucks and just sitting there because I needed to be around people again.
right.
Because I was traveling with 14 people at all times. And then I was suddenly living alone.
Yeah.
wow,
Oh,
okay,
Jesus.
I was like, this is,
Yep.
and then
Completely
I'm like
understand.
doing all this work and being with all these children and like feeling like really productive with my time to being home.
Yep. That's
was
the
like-
that's the post vacation drain.
Oh,
yeah.
but it was different than a post vacation drain
Well, yeah.
because
Well, on top
Yeah.
of all the things that usually come with a vacation, you were seeing all of
Right.
these things in Kenya that
that really rock your world and everything you know
Yeah.
like goes out the window.
yeah. God, man, that is crazy.
So yeah. And the group from our church right now is in Kenya. And so like seeing the pictures just makes me want to go back.
Oh, really? So, what did the housing look like when you were there? So you say there's a million people.
You sent me some photos. It
Yeah,
was,
let me
it was pretty crazy. And you
It's
were
hard to
talking about, like, a
describe
bunch
because
of-
it's like scraps of wood. So
Really?
like anything you can find that you can shape sort of like a structure is
God.
what they'll have. Then they also have some like cement buildings that you'll see like a 10-story apartment. And just like there's, you know, like fraud and everything here and have nasty landlords, they have it there too. So you can have this super tiny room with a family of 10 paying more than they make. Or they make this much money and that's how much the rent is. And then they're trying to find food or send their children to school. So
God.
Ugh.
It's insane.
It is insane. But while I was there, I got a sponsored child and I got to meet her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That sounds so just validating and fulfilling.
Yes, because what costs me 1 tank of gas gets Marianne, is her name, 2 meals a day for 6 days, because they go to school 6 days a week. It gets her a school uniform and it gets her an education.
Dang.
And so the goal is to like sponsor all of these children because their parents can't afford it. And so then it's like, if you want to get out of the slums, if you want to change Kenya, this is the only way to do it.
Yeah,
right.
And education is always to pull people out of poverty. Education is like the biggest thing.
Yeah. And so the organization, though, Missions of Hope, they require the parents to do something so that they have some ownership in it. So they have to pay 100 shillings a month, which is like $1 American.
Wow. So is there a specific thing that you want to plug that people that maybe be listening might be able to do something like that?
I don't know. I don't want to like cheapen it by like plugging it on the internet. I don't know.
Well, but you're I see what you mean.
But like, so if you go to cmfi.org, you can see, so CMF is an organization that the U.S. has that sends missionaries all over the country. So then you can find sponsored children, or not all over the country, all over the world. You can find sponsored children all over the world that need people to help pay for their education, their meals. And it's not, like, I don't know, I guess meeting my child made it so much more impactful.
Right.
So then getting pictures of her this week was just like, I was a wreck because I could see I've been praying for her for a year that all she is healthy.
Yeah.
And then I got these pictures of her. She's grown so much. You can see the confidence she's gained by being in school.
Wow.
Like, it's just incredible.
That's awesome.
I feel like maybe this is what it's like to be a parent. I don't know.
Well, similar feelings.
Yeah.
Or similar, like
or
a
like an
sense of,
aunt. Yeah.
Is that little girl you sent of you kneeling in front of her?
I should show you the new pictures because how much she has grown is just really incredible.
Yeah, but that's fulfilling. Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, so if anybody wants to try to do that, because it's wow.
That was her last year. You're going to find a whole bunch of other pictures on there.
Okay, that one's an elephant.
That was an elephant.
That must have been on the safari.
Yep.
Wow. That's fantastic. But yeah, I can see how like you're providing for her. You've seen her when she was younger and you can see her growing up and you've actually met her.
Yep.
So yeah, I can totally see the fulfillment that you get from that. It's similar to raising a child.
And that's her now.
Oh, wow. Here you go.
Yeah, I haven't sent those to you.
That's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
That's a big difference.
I mean
just
she's
like,
still only 6.
She's only like 3 feet tall.
Does she play basketball?
She's not that big.
Yeah.
I think a little Trump came out of me. That's huge.
Oh my gosh. Huge. Take it back. Take it back.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So
that's awesome. Do you have another trip coming up in like a year?
Yes. So I'm going to go to Israel in June of 2018.
That's awesome.
Will you be doing similar things, or
no.
is that just kind of what is it? What is this? You're giving a look that this is
no. So it's tourism. Like
tourism.
So we're going to get to go and like go to all of the historical sites from the Bible, but not have to do any work while we're there.
So it's a vacation. Nice.
That's gonna be awesome.
That will be awesome.
I love old buildings and like there's probably like way
like
older
ruins and things. Yeah.
Yes.
And then get to go to the Dead Sea and like be baptized in the Jordan River, and that's where Jesus was baptized. I'm super stoked for that
trip. That's like
trip.
a mega trip. Yeah.
So taking a couple steps back, you mentioned a safari that you went on. What kind of things did you do on the safari? Because when I think of a safari, I don't think 9 days. So were you...
No, so the safari was only like 2.5 days.
Oh, 2.5 days. Got you.
So you really just sit in a van that the top lifts up so you can stand up.
Yeah.
And then there's a wonderful driver that drives around, and they're like all radioing to each other. So if there's an animal over here, they'll like, give them some special code.
Yeah, because lions can get crazy. Yeah.
And so we just got to drive around and see so Kenya and Tanzania, I believe, border each other. So you've all heard of like the Serengeti.
Yeah.
That's in Tanzania. But once you cross the border into Kenya, it's called the Masai Mara.
Interesting. Right. When you cross the border. So it's like the
so
same
it's a different national, like the same national park, different name.
I see. Okay.
As far as I know. Like, I didn't like study up on this.
Yeah, you'll have to listen later and then fact check what you're saying while you're listening to the podcast.
Yeah. So we're in the van for a couple days watching animals. It was great. So
that sounds phenomenal.
Like 3 prides of lions, bunch of lion cubs, lots of mama lions. We learned that Simba is lion in Swahili.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Yep. Rafiki means friend.
Nice.
Yep.
Disney Easter eggs.
I think Pumbaa is warthog.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Oh,
So
okay,
do you know what Timon is? Do you know what Timon is?
Timon.
Yeah, just
But we did see those little, are they muskrats? I can't remember what they're called.
Meerkats?
Meerkats. We did see those.
Oh, that's awesome.
They
There's
all,
like-
stand up.
Was there music playing in the background the whole time? Like,
So I definitely did put the Lion King soundtrack on my phone, and I was like, so I might just play some Lion King for you. And I thought they'd be really annoyed, and nobody was. And then the next morning, someone in our
what
van
if
was
they
like, hey, would you mind playing some Circle of Life this morning? Absolutely.
So they didn't like get that a lot from tourists, or no?
I don't know if
Who doesn't love Elton John?
Right, exactly. Yeah, he's a saint. and
He's a
hero.
he's a sir.
Yeah, he's a saint.
Yeah, that's true. He's been knighted.
Knight.
No, it was like our group that wanted to hear it. I don't know what
I
our
was
van
like
driver
the
thought.
driver. I was like, oh.
No, I'm sure he's heard it a million times.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, oh, these. No, I'm just kidding.
Stupid Americans. Again.
Right. Yeah. That damn movie. Like cartoon.
That's
But
funny.
yeah, seeing the lion, or not just the lions, all the animals was just incredible.
I imagine it
Really
was.
nice.
Yeah.
Never done anything like that.
Lots of hippos,
Mm-hmm.
one rhino, a cheetah, a ton of water buffalo.
Ooh, water buffalo. Were
But I think
sweet.
that they're not water buffalo. I keep calling them ox, and they're like, Sarah, it's not an ox. I'm like, but they all look the same.
There's
Water
another-
Buffalo sounds familiar.
I think that-
yeah.
Or it sounds right.
Yeah.
There's another word for water buffalo that I can't remember what it is.
So we'll just pretend it was a water buffalo.
It's a
'cause
water
I
buffalo.
totally can't remember what it's
Nice.
actually called.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Lots of like gazelles and that like deer type animals.
Yeah.
And there's tons of them.
Really?
Like, and they're all
It's like popping around.
yes,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
they're like different ones, but they kind of look all the same, but
Yeah.
it's a different animal.
I can
All
see
these
that.
animals you're describing, I'm thinking of them
Yeah,
in the
just
Lion
popping
King, like
it.
the meerkats and then the gazelles. All
too,
like-
yeah.
I'm
Yeah, then
picturing
like
all of it.
giraffes and the elephants were probably my favorite.
Really?
that'd
And
be cool.
zebras.
Oh, I would love that.
Because I only
Love
see
that.
these animals in like zoos.
At the zoo,
And that's
yeah.
kind of like depressing to me.
Oh yeah,
anyways.
what's it
For
like
some
to
reason,
be
I always-
to be near the zoo where Harambe was murdered? What's that like? What's that like?
I don't know where. Oh, actually, we passed the zoo the other day.
Did you
Yeah,
go?
it's pretty close.
It's on
Yeah.
Vine Street.
I was on Vine Street.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wow.
I don't.
Near ground zero.
Yeah. I mean, poor guy.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Oh, we did see monkeys too, and the monkeys would actually come in the kitchen of our hotel
Oh my god.
and like try and steal food off your plate.
Wild
in the
monkeys?
hotel.
It was
Can't
like the
even-
same wild monkey.
Can't even trust the monkeys. The same
Yeah.
one stealing all the stuff from you like
Yes.
every day? Did you have a name for him?
No,
You should have named him like Bumbo.
but I got lots of pictures of him.
Oh yeah. Nice. Maybe we'll put that on the poster or something.
Probably like a key
I
card or
should
something.
try and find him. I probably have it.
You definitely
I could
should, yeah.
reactivate my Facebook for a day to show you
Just to
like
get
the top
photos.
75 photos. Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
All of a sudden, people start inundating your wall. Like, Sarah, did you read about this?
Yeah,
I
right.
see your back. You know?
God.
I would delete it before I left the house.
Well, that sounds like a fantastic adventure.
It was
like,
a wonderful
fulfilling
adventure.
and life changing, like you're saying.
Yeah.
That's why I love traveling and
Yeah.
seeing all these different things because you get a different perspective on life.
Yes.
Definitely. So
Hence,
thank you.
Ohio.
Yeah. Hence Ohio.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Different perspective on the U.S.
Yeah. So what about Ohio is different?
Oh, yeah,
than,
that's right.
Oh my
than,
gosh. Well, so
than you're
I
used
went
to.
to Kroger yesterday. In the Northwest, we have Kroger, but it's called Fred Meyer.
Oh, so
And there was a man named
is it
Fred
owned by?
Meyer. Yes, it's owned by Kroger.
and
Okay.
it's not a Meyer, it's a Kroger.
Yeah,
Because we
I
have
told her
Meyer,
Maya
too,
earlier,
that are
and she's
basically
I
like,
don't know
"What's
what
a
Meyer is.
Yeah.
Really? That's
Yeah, she
really
was like, "What's a
deceiving.
Meyer?"
I
I
was
was
at
like,
Meyer
"Oh."
the other day. I had to do Valentine's Day shopping.
I don't
But
think they're
it's
as
just-
popular as other
It's
things.
not. So Kroger's like really like produce and food centric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meyer is more like a Walmart.
And we don't like Walmart where I come
Like
from.
Oh, really?
Supermart,
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like
that's
food, not
intelligent.
food.
An intelligent thing to say.
Yeah. I try not to go to Walmart, but sometimes.
My dad hates Walmart.
Yeah.
And I love Jerry Flume.
Yeah. Nice.
No, so I went to Kroger yesterday and I was totally lost because it was not like my Fred Meyer. So I asked somebody for help. And I was like, I'm looking for this type of bread. And then I was like, hey, like I'm not from here, I'm from Portland, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman helping me was like, oh my gosh, I went out and started some Fred Meyers out there. I love Portland.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's
She's like, I
insane.
never thought that I would want to visit that city until I went. She goes, it's so beautiful.
Wow.
And it dawned on me when I was talking to her. I'm like, okay, Ohio is an acquired taste. Oregon, you drive in and it's instantly
and it's
beautiful.
instantly beautiful.
Yeah.
But so on top of the Fred Meyer / Kroger difference, what else is different? Because we were talking earlier about how the city's like barren here compared to the
yeah,
cities.
there's like no people here because
Yeah.
Portland is extremely populated. I mean, not like New York, but everyone from California is moving to Portland. So move back to California.
well, it's because it's so expensive, right?
But
like,
it's
Portland's
becoming really expensive in Portland.
Because the California people keep moving up there. I can see
Yeah.
that
And
happening.
Seattle people.
I can
Yeah.
see
The guy
that.
that gave me that bike.
They're
He was
all
like, I'm
filtering
moving
in.
there just so I can own a house.
Portlandia probably didn't help.
Yeah.
No,
all the
Portlandia is
show.
funny. But like just the way the city looks, we have asphalt highways. You guys have concrete highways.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, Jenna said that some of them are
Yeah.
asphalt as well. Our trees have leaves on them year round.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you guys don't really have. Do you have seasons really, or is the temperature kind of?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because I know San Francisco.
Yeah, she's been sending me so many photos of like the many ice storms that she's had.
That's
and then
interesting.
snow.
It's crazy how different it is just within that same geographic area, because San Francisco is basically fall all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, so we have very distinct 4 seasons.
Really? Okay, got you.
Summer is probably the shortest.
Unfortunately,
It's kind of like a joke that summer doesn't start till July 5th.
Wow,
that's funny.
The 4th of July's growing up, it was always rainy. But yeah, we have 4 seasons. Fall is fantastic. Everyone looks forward to fall because it's boots and scarves.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How long does that last?
And all y'all Portland hipsters love those.
I know,
boots
all those Portland hipsters. Roll jeans, scarves, skinny jeans, Birkenstocks. I don't know. Fall lasts until like November.
Oh wow.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
really?
that's late
That's how I would
us.
love fall to work.
Exactly.
here.
Yeah.
But then
how long's winter?
Winter doesn't actually start till like December 20th or something crazy.
Well, I think officially winter doesn't start until December 21st, because that's when the solstice
there you
is
go.
or whatever.
Yeah. My mom's birthday.
But how long does it last after that?
I don't know. These are hard questions.
Yes.
I need specific dates.
You're not a weather woman? What?
No, and the weather people are always wrong.
Yeah, I mean that's consistent everywhere.
I don't know, like March-ish. I mean, that's spring break.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Nice.
That's not
And
too
then
far off.
That's
but yeah.
no, that's about the same.
But
Yeah.
I feel like you've had much worse winter. Well,
Yes.
definitely.
Wow.
Our winter has been not.
I
not
warned
really
Anthony. I was like, I might bring bad weather.
But then she brought the opposite.
I brought fantastic weather.
You did. I don't know what happened.
This is the first like 3 days in a row that I have not had snow, freezing rain, or just rain of any kind.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I might move to Ohio.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
You've acquired the taste.
And it's cheap out here.
It's very cheap.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, she like you text
Yeah.
me something about gas. It's
Gas
like
is
under
really
$2,
cheap.
but that's kind of even crazy for us. But
Yeah, under $2. Yeah, I just came from Indiana and it's $1.98
whoa.
at the
I'm
gas
moving to
stations.
Indiana.
Wherever the cheapest.
You
gas.
don't want to do that.
No, I don't think I do.
Yeah, I would say Indiana's more stark than Ohio. I don't know. Maybe.
It's 100%. Yeah.
Besides Indianapolis,
They all
obviously.
have like we're in Cincinnati right now, so it's a super populated zone. But if you go to Indiana, there's not a big city until you get to like Indianapolis or Bloomington.
Yeah.
So we're just next to the kind of less populated
yeah,
areas
I'm
of
bashing
Indiana.
Indiana. I love Bloomington. I absolutely adore that place.
Bloomington's
It's
fantastic.
What's
beautiful.
there that we
It's
love about
IU.
it?
Indiana
Indiana
University. Like
It's
the main IU.
beautiful college town.
It's a great
Okay.
town. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got
Love it.
the-
I'm moving to Bloomington.
Yeah. You can't live everywhere.
I'm already moving to Bloomington.
That's funny.
Selling my house and moving to Bloomington.
A lot of great cities. So before we wrap up, Sarah, is there anything else that you want to address?
Oh my gosh, I brought presents.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You brought presents. Yeah. That's so great.
And so I brought them in paper bags because I wasn't going to try and pack wrapping paper, but I thought that Anthony might have like newspaper at home, so I could do like tissue paper.
yeah.
No.
He doesn't. He has like
I'm very
he's like a
minimalist.
Walgreens ad
We're
or something.
dudes.
Yeah,
So then
don't
I'm
have
like, do you have
things?
Scotch tape? No.
I don't even have
I
tape.
just bought Scotch tape last week.
I have scissors. She's like the next question after that was like, do you have scissors? But she had to like pause. Like this could be a yes. This could
Oh
definitely
my
be a no.
god! Thank you
So
so much.
they're
I don't
like-
even know what it is yet.
So it's like taped together with like weather stripping or something.
The precedent
No,
has
it's
been
like
set
draft
for,
tape
for
for,
other
like,
guests.
Yeah.
We expect
Oh
presents
yeah,
now.
Dave.
Yeah,
Where's our
Dave.
gift? No, I'm just kidding.
Bring meatballs next time. Do you want me to get some scissors?
Wow, these are heavy.
No, you can. I mean, I'm not
Alright.
taking the bags home.
But it's such a nice brown paper
I'm gonna
bag.
ruin it for him.
Oh god, what is this? What? Okay, what do we got here? This looks like something I would put a name tag on. Okay.
I have Portland organic ketchup.
Oh,
Let me
you
see.
got me
You
up.
have one. Open it.
Name tag.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding me? This is the best thing I've ever seen.
You know what? Hodge said we need to do another video, live one, and now we can actually have...
We could totally.
Oh my god,
this is so cool.
awesome. So mine says Anthony, Fro, and Gorman, which is exactly what's on my ring.
Yeah, and mine says awesome P-Funk Flume
Co-host.
co-host. That's fantastic. I was thinking like maybe I'll take it to work, but work is where my happiness goes to die, so I'll probably just leave it here. I'll just leave it
That's
here.
funny.
So on top of that, what
Oh,
what do
yeah.
you?
I don't want to like... Oh yeah, organic
Also got-
ketchup.
Portland ketchup.
Organic ketchup.
So I like was cleaning out my kitchen one day and I had these and I took a
Awesome.
picture and sent it to Anthony. He's like, I love hipster ketchup, but they rarely have it around here.
Oh,
Yes, only some places do. It's
So I brought you
delicious.
some Portland ketchup. It's the
it's-
best. And they have it at McMiniman's where he stayed the first night we
really?
talked.
Thank you
Man,
so
that's
much.
everything.
You're welcome. Here, I'll put your nameplate together if you
Oh
need
yeah,
to.
yeah, sure. While I'm opening this other thing, looks
Okay,
like
we'll have to do another
one more
photo
thing,
for the
though.
actual podcast. With that.
yes, we will. And
Okay,
you
so
got-
I know your
oh.
obsession with that place.
Ooh, Ooh, it's a Starbucks box. It's a Starbucks.
But Anthony, that one,
Yeah.
This is hard to open.
Mine is.
I can't open it.
it's a recycled beer bottle.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
looked like
recycled
a
beer
one.
bottle.
So describe what you're holding, Anthony.
So I'm holding so it's that green glass but it seems like wider than a beer bottle.
It does,
So
but
it's like
it's
one of those big
recycled beer
ones.
bottle.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it looks like just the bottom of a
The
beer
bottom
bottle
part.
that somebody sliced off and made into the
And
shape
they
of a
polished,
cup.
like the slicing part.
Yeah.
And then it's got a heart with
The shape of Oregon etched in it.
Oregon.
Wow.
You
This
can just
is-
slide the top off.
I got to get this tape. I got to get this
Oh,
tape
yeah,
first.
'cause I
There's
packaged
tape on
it,
here.
so I
yeah.
taped
Thank you
it.
so
I mean,
much, Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're more
This is
thorough
awesome.
than you remember.
I did not expect.
I didn't. Oh man. It's a,
Oh, it's a mug.
it's an Oregon mug. We were just talking
I
about
know.
mugs.
It's like I love mugs.
When you told me that, I'm like, yes, I got the best present.
That's so awesome.
This is fantastic. Oh my god. Yeah, like I said, the precedent has been set for other guests. Next time y'all
Yeah,
come on, I
awesome.
expect
No one's gonna
candy
come
or
on.
something.
Yeah.
This is all awesome.
I
got
love
the
it.
got the mug, got the ketchup. My favorite is the
Is your nameplate?
the nameplate. Are you kidding?
Yeah, that is awesome.
We might have a new like official like stock P-Funk and Fro cover photo
Yeah,
coming
people
up
are gonna
with these
think we're way more
nameplates.
professional.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of funny. So I had an old coworker who's a nurse as well, and he like made his
Oh,
own.
that's so cool.
Oh,
And you know,
yeah?
we don't have desks. There's like a computer at a nurse's station, so he would just
Yeah.
move it,
Oh, okay.
whatever desk he was sitting at, and it was
Okay.
just funny. And so I was remembering that one day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should totally do that for Anthony.
That's so
That's
cool.
awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you for listening. It really does mean a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is-
That you
yeah.
listen, because it's fun to do this and we just do it for ourselves to kind of talk and get our thoughts
Right.
on the internet
Yeah.
so we can look at them later or listen to them later. I don't know how you look at a thought, but apparently we figured that out.
Revisit
But
the thought. Yeah.
but it's really interesting talking to someone who listens on a weekly basis. So
Yeah.
Happy
thank
to
you
do
for
it.
listening.
You're
and
welcome.
Obviously, thank you for these sweet gifts.
You're welcome.
But it's been very awesome to have you on the podcast.
now
this
I
week.
finally have room in my suitcase.
Oh yeah. For
Like 2/3 of my suitcase was gifts.
So generous.
Yeah, that's
Such a
nice.
giving person.
Should I like tell people? I just realized like I didn't tell them that I have friends in Ohio, and that's how I ended up here.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
So she
Dayton.
didn't just come specifically for the podcast. It's just kind
right.
of
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my best friend from college and her husband and
Shout
their
out.
baby live in Dayton.
Yeah.
So husband's in the Air Force, got stationed in Dayton, and I've been like, I need to go visit them. And finally, I was like, damn it, I'm visiting them, and Anthony lives there too. I'm just gonna do it all in one.
Woo! And
Yeah.
now the baby's the head of the household.
Oh my gosh, and she's just the love of my life. Anthony met her today. She's pretty darn
Yeah.
cute.
She is. Yeah,
That's
she's
fantastic.
adorable.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you
is,
for having
is there
me.
is there anything else you want to address before we go?
Oh gosh, I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
He's
this-
like, nope, this is long enough.
Nope. Yeah. No. Well, this has been a joy. Thank you once again for coming on, Anthony. Thank you for joining me again and joining me every
Of
week.
course.
If you like what you just heard, we're gonna post every Friday. iTunes, Android podcast services all around the universe.
Right?
Yeah.
Or write a review. Remember? You're supposed
Oh
to.
right, yeah. She also informed us that we have no iTunes reviews. So if you listen, that's something you can do now. Be
Yeah.
like, I listen to this podcast every week. I don't know why I can't stand it, but I keep listening
Give him
because
5 stars.
5 stars.
Yeah.
Give me them 5 stars. iTunes reviews. We'd appreciate it if you did that. Look for more details on the book club. Hopefully those have gone out by
I
now.
have notes for you on
Totally
that.
forgot.
Yeah, she's got notes for me on that. But until next time, we will see you later.
Later.
Peace out. Right now.
Not too far.
It's about an hour. So I drove from there this morning.
West?
Yes.
Yep.
An hour from the west.
Hour
Yes.
west. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
Let
if
me-
I'm looking at
Oh,
a
you
map,
came from
so
Indiana.
if you
west.
look at this map that I have, oh, that's Pokemon map. Never mind. But yeah.
Oh my
so-
gosh, we need to talk about that.
Yeah. She's,
Well, you don't like my Pikachu?
I'm just not a Pokemoner.
That's okay.
yeah. Pokemon.
That's
That's
okay.
I call them Pokemans.
That's
And
why
they're just like, what the
Pokemans,
hell? So,
skinny
like,
jeans,
old
and your
person.
Pokemans.
You damn
You,
kids. and
those
your
are not skinny jeans.
Well, not this time.
Nah, yeah.
But when he said that initially,
yeah, yeah.
I probably
Your
was
damn
wearing
kids
skinny
and your
jeans.
skinny jeans and your Pokemans. Get off my
Yeah, I don't
lawn.
think I was even wearing skinny jeans that time.
Right. No, I just.
Do
said
you
it
wear
'cause I was
skinny
like-
jeans?
Not skinny
Not
jeans. I
really.
wear straight legs sometimes.
Yeah, that's not skinny jeans.
No.
I have
I
skinny
don't.
jeans.
I
I should have
don't-
worn them today so you guys would.
So you would
it's-
have an example of what.
Right, but then I was like actually kind of I like don't usually that's like I plan what I'm gonna wear.
Well,
And I'm like, okay, so Anthony has already made fun of Portlanders and hipsters because they wear scarves and rolled up. So I'm like, okay, I don't wear jeans rolled up.
I
Here.
don't care. Like, you can do it. I don't care. It's not like I like shun them or like go, on the street.
Except you were like, oh, I turned into I'm living with all the hipsters now.
Yeah.
So okay, I officially have rolled jeans, a scarf, and my Birkenstocks.
yes. Perfect representation. That's a pretty sweet scarf too.
Thanks, I got it in
like
Italy.
it. Nice. God dang it.
God damn.
I'm
Well,
not
you're going to like
I wanna go to other
Germany,
places.
right?
yeah, you're going to
Probably.
Germany.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
I'm not like I've been to well, I've had a layover in London. I've been to Kenya and I've been to Italy. So I've been to like stopped and spent time in 2 countries outside of the U.S.
What'd you do in Kenya?
This is maybe a good recording one, but
Okay. Can we start?